Taladunyan Wangat, Naranik Mandi, Wurundjeri Wurundjeri Balakut, Mundanai Liwik Blok Nugulik, Mundanai Pupup Nakwerenik ba Kiripik, ba Jajawurang, ba Nyurailamurang, ba German. Hi, my name's Mandy Nicholson and I'm a Wurundjeri woman, and I also have connections to the Jajawurang and Nyurailamurang language groups and German on my mum's side, and I thanked my ancestors, my family and my friends.
Kaba Malamangil Naranik Kaya, Wurundjeri Willamik, Woirangik, Nyungajin Womanyat Biik Duiik. Hi, my name's Kaya Nicholson Ward and I'm Mandy's daughter. I am Wurundjeri Jajawurang and Nyurailamurang and I'm 17 years old. I am one of the lead dancers of the Jitty Jitty dance group and I dance with my family.
And we're going to be learning a ngarrga, a dance today called the Biik NGARRGA. And Biik means country in the Woiwurrung language. And we'll be teaching all the separate moves that we do that are incorporated in the dance, because every single move means something and has some significance. So this dance is honouring the 6 layers of Wurundjeri country. And they include the Biik Ut, or the in country or below country, and that's what you can see on my face is the ochre that we collect from below the ground, and we use that for ceremony and dance. Then we've got the Biik Dui, the on country, and that's where we do these ceremonies and dances. Then we've got the Banya Biik, the water country, and that forms part of our welcoming ceremonies where we get guests to drink water from a tarnuk or a wooden bowl to show that resources on country are safe while you're visiting. Then we've got the Murnmut Biik, the wind country, and that's a beautiful layer of country because it touches every element. We can't see wind, but we can feel it. So when we have our smoking ceremonies and when we speak and when we sing in language, it transcends to Bunjil, up in the cosmos. Then we've got Wurundjeri Biik, the sky country, and that's where Bunjil and Wa, they watch over us and guide us. And the very top one is in the stars, and that's called Tarangalk Biik, and that literally means forest country above the clouds, and that's where Bunjil lives. So enjoy. So the dance that you're going to be learning today is a women's dance, and we only teach women's dance because the moves are very feminine and represent us as women. We've got men's business and women's business, and we steer clear of the men's business because it's against cultural protocols for us to teach men's dances or men's moves. It's up to the men to do that. So the initial first part that you have to learn is actually how to move your legs. So we have more of a sweeping and graceful kind of little bounce in our moves, and it all comes down to the use of clapsticks, or any traditional instrument. So for women, we also have possum skin drums, and our main instrument is the clapsticks, or we call them kulk. So you'll see Kaya moving her legs to the beat of the kulk, and that's how we create our dances from the scratch. And then if I pick up the pace, and if I pick it up even more, and then back to slow. So you can see how Kaya, you can keep going if you want, Kaya, keep going, and see how Kaya is gracefully bouncing with her knees and taking no sharp movements, no really hard stomping, because that's more of the men's business side of things. And that's our basis for learning our kind of dancing. And this is specific to Wurundjeri, how we are doing these moves. And it also represents generally what Aboriginal women do in their movements in this part of the world in Victoria. We're going to be learning the 6 verses of Biik NGARRGA, the country dance, and the very first one is the most important because it's our welcome layer. And this is all about sweeping our gum leaves. So when we welcome people to country, we either have a smoking ceremony, a water ceremony, or we sweep our leaves in that symbolic gesture of cleansing. The moves for this part of the dance represent the welcome, so the sweeping of the leaves. So you'll see Kaya moving her legs, she'll be sweeping the gum leaves in different motions, and you can see it's very graceful in her movements, no sharp movements, and very flowing. Wurundjeri, Wurundjeri al narapu, 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 narapu. Wurundjeri, Wurundjeri al narapu, 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 narapu. The dance moves that Kai will be showing you now represent welcome. And the words Wurundjeri Narapu means Wurundjeri's country. And this is all about the sweeping of the leaves. So you'll have the arms moving first. You'll have one arm moving and swaying very gracefully. And your feet, keep an eye on the feet, the movements and how she's sweeping and keeping those leg movements in rhythm with the sweeping. And then she changes into a double arm action. And the feet are still moving with the same pace as the leaves, but it's a double beat. So you'll notice throughout the song that the two lines of the same words will be sung. The first line will be slower with a half beat, and the second line will be quicker with a double beat. And you'll see Kaya move her body to represent that faster action. So what we're going to do now is we're going to demonstrate the moves with our feet and the leaves swinging. So you'll see Kaya moving her feet with one arm swinging of the leaves. And you can see it's step, tap, step, tap, step, tap. And that goes for the first line of the song where it's a slower half beat. Then the second line of the first verse is double time. So you'll see Kaya's feet changing from the step, tap to more of a step, step. So you can see the difference. We'll go back to the step, tap with the one arm. So you can see step, tap and swinging in motion and swinging in synchronicity. And then we'll go to the second line of that verse with the double time. And you can see both her feet moving and both arms going. So they're basically the two moves that you learn in this verse number 1. So let's do that one so you can follow along. Wurundjeri, Wurundjeri Narapu, 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 Narapu. Wurundjeri, Wurundjeri Narapu, 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 Narapu. And that's the first verse done. So the moves that Kai will be doing for the second verse represent Tarangok Biik, and Tarang means tree and Gulk means stick, so it means forest country, and that's up in the stars, so that's where he watches us and he lives. So the moves to this particular verse represent us getting down on our knees, and that is our sign of respect for Bunjil, and we're praising him. You'll see Kaya, when she gets down on her knees, she puts her arms up above her head with a graceful motion of her wrist. And that represents us giving honour to Bunjil and giving our language and our culture and thanking him for everything that he's given to us. So you'll see for this particular verse that Kaya is standing from the end of the last verse, but then there's a count of 3 with the clapsticks. And that's your cue to get down on your knees. And that, like I said, was honouring Bunjil, you're praising him. And that's when you start to put your arms up. And you can see with the graceful flick of the wrist, we're giving our language, we're giving our respect, and we're honouring Bunjil that way. We're transcending all of that energy up to Bunjil. And then the next move represents our tying of our belts. So you'll see Kaya doing this action from side to side, and that represents her tying up of her dance belt. And the dance belt is really important because that is a sign of thanks to Bunjil, and we're honouring him by wearing this particular dance belt. So you can see how she's just tying that up from side to side on her hips. So now it's your turn to have a go. From the end of the last verse we were standing, so we've got 3 clapstick beats to represent that's the time when you get down on your knees for this verse. Let's go. Tarangok, Tarangok Biik, Bunjulal, Bunjulal, Willamoo, 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 Willamoo. Tarangok, Tarangok Biik, Bunjulal, Bunjulal, Willamoo, 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 Willamoo. So for this verse, we're dancing the moves that represent Wa, the raven, and Bunjil, the creator. So you'll notice that there is a part of this dance that represents Bunjil, but we're not doing it in the masculine way. We're representing Bunjil just by a simple move. So the first move that we do here is what Kai is doing here is the short wing movements, and that represents Wa, the raven. And you can see her feet. She's doing like a step, tap, And then we change into the bundle one, which is one simple movement, and you'll see her feet pointing outwards. And so you can see the footwork changes when the wings come out. So again, I emphasise that that isn't a male's version of the bundle, it's just an honouring movement of him. And you'll see in the second line of that verse, the beats get faster and your feet go quicker. So now it's your turn to have a go, let's do it. So remember, we're down on the ground and we've got that 3 beat that is your cue to get up. Wuru 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 bik bunjuang bunjuang nga 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 wuru 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 bik bunjuang bunjuang nga 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 nga. Okay guys, that's the end of our first lesson. Please keep practicing. I know some of those moves can be tricky, but keep going and we'll see you next week.